Our boy did it. He actually did it. Ash Ketchum defied all odds and became the world champion in the Pokemon world. He fought many different ops along the way to his journey to become the best, but one has to wonder, surely there were other battles that we could have seen him do. All things considered, he only battled 16 times on screen before making it into the Masters 8. If we got more to Pokemon Journeys, then we could have easily gotten some classic rematches, or perhaps even matches that Ash just didn't ever have a chance to do. As the title would suggest, today I want to give you 10 battles that Ash should have had in Pokemon Journeys but didn't. Kicking off this list with something simple, we needed to see Ash have a rematch with his original rival and one of the trainers that gave him the most trouble, Gary Oak. Gary did appear in Pokemon Journeys, unlike most other trainers on this list, but he had a completely different role. It was nice seeing how much Gary has changed for the most part since his debut back in the first episode of the original series. He's much more mature, less hostile towards Ash, and overall has become a fantastic trainer and researcher. He appeared only in Project Mew, and to be the one to push Go to actually reach his goals, changing his target from Ash to Go. I think it would have been extremely fitting if in Pokemon Journeys episode 114, it was Gary that actually appeared instead of Paul. He could have been the one to train his childhood friend and rival to be ready for the Masters 8. I love Paul and I loved his appearance there, but I don't know, it seemed kind of out of place. Was it just me? We could have had Paul appear in some other episode instead, because he definitely still needs to show up in Pokemon Journeys. Or how about after Ash defeats Leon, his final on-screen battle before departing the Pokemon anime is against Gary. This would have been the true ultimate send-off to both these characters, and as it stands, Gary is actually up against Ash 2-1. His only loss to Ash of course occurred in the Pokemon League, which can't be said for the next person on this list.
Pokemon Journeys was a series that not only helped Ash reach one of his goals of becoming world champion, but it also brought back a lot of characters to complement his character and continuity. However, there were some characters that didn't return, and it left viewers with a sour taste as they wanted to see Ash battle more characters before he departed from the anime.
Hey, what's up Raph? Fancy meeting you here.
What's good bro? Thanks for having me back on the channel and letting me join you in this discussion. There's so many cool ideas for us to explore, and I can't wait to show everybody what we've cooked up.
Cool. I was planning on doing this one alone, but why don't you take it away with the next choice?
After Ash's unforgettable loss to Tobias in the Sinnoh League, viewers have been clamouring to see Ash seek revenge. With Ash becoming the world champion and now arguably the strongest Pokemon trainer in the world, surely this would be the perfect occasion for him to re-challenge the action replaying final boss, right? Since the Diamond and Pearl series, Ash's Pokemon and battle strategies have excelled. He now has a wide range of Pokemon, each capable of unique transformations, with one of them even having a broken form of its own. Having a mythical Pokemon under his belt brings forward new opportunities, finally matching the revelation that Tobias brought to the table all of those years ago. Plus, he could even ask for assistance of Nebula Solgaleo, a Pokemon that has now officially been confirmed to be in Ash's ownership. This was the rematch we needed, to finally show off all of Ash's growth and all of the new strength that he got with his Pokemon. Ash would have easily defeated Tobias with the Pokemon he has now on his team. That is if Tobias didn't end up bringing even more crazy Pokemon, potentially like Arceus. But man, this was such a wasted opportunity. It could have been a brilliant way to conclude Ash's journey, personifying how far he has come since the Sinnoh days.
Someone who was able to take the throne of champion was Lance. Hell, he didn't just take one throne, but two, being the dual champion of Kanto and Johto. Lance meant business and he was a menace in the battlefield. To be honest, Journeys did this man hella dirty with him battling twice and losing both times. At least he was able to make the runner-up of one World Coronation series and the top 8 of another. Lance isn't someone that Ash ran into once, but twice, those being in Johto and once again in Hoenn. And when we saw that he was going to be joining the Masters 8, I remember a lot of people thinking that it would have been a perfect time for him to battle Ash. Lance being the champion of Ash's home region is a great start, and then when Paul battled against Ash training him for the Masters 8, he used a Gyarados which almost certainly seemed like a lock for him to battle against Lance. Paul used Metagross which helped him against Steven, Garchomp which was practice for Cynthia, and then Gyarados just oddly gets left out of place. Oh I know, it must have been a hint that Misty was going to join Ash for one more journey. Speaking of Misty, there is one trainer that Ash should have battled from the Kanto region who has defeated Misty in the past.
If there's one battle that would have broken the internet, then it would definitely have been Ash finally taking on his game counterpart Red. Let's not get things twisted, Ash and Red are ideally the same character, both sharing similarities with their Pokemon, goals, and even the way they look as well. But if you know how strong Red is, then I'm sure you can understand why we and others are so keen to see this battle come into fruition. Red is from a different timeline, and is said to be the strongest trainer in his set timeline. So what more of a better occasion to see both of these titans clash in battle? Not only would it have been a fantastic battle, but the interactions could have been incredibly wholesome, leading to arguably the most compelling plot point in the history of the Pokemon anime. The Pokemon fanbase knows how this encounter could have shaped the anime and games if it came true. Seeing both fractions mesh together for this epic moment could have been sublime. It would have been iconic to see Ash try and counter Red's Mewtwo, a Pokemon that he too has so much history with. If Pokemon Masters can bring forward this clash between the two trainers, then I'm sure the anime could have done the same.
Speaking of clashes in the Pokemon anime, how insane is it that Ash battled against Alain 3 times and never once defeated him? He is quite literally Ash's hardest op to date. Think about it, sure Ash lost to trainers multiple times, but he was able to at least defeat them eventually. Alain was that one guy that Ash was just never able to defeat. And then when it was announced that he was in the Masters 8, fans were clamoring for them to get their much needed rematch and have Ash finally outshine his Kalos rival. Only for us to instead get Ash Greninja retcon and then barely even interact. Alain would have been another fantastic choice to have him battle against in the Masters 8, a first round opponent against another strong Charizard trainer to get him ready for his battle against Leon. Or if the anime wanted to go in a different route, they could have made Alain his final opponent before making it into the Masters 8 and introduced someone else completely to take his place instead. Overall, I'm pretty sure we would have loved to see Ash go against Alain, and I know a lot of fans didn't like the Alain vs Leon battle anyway, so we can retcon that too. It's good to see Ash get revenge against trainers that he has previously lost to in leagues, so it's only natural for us to include.
There's been a fair share of mirror matches in the Pokemon anime, with Alain's Charizard even battling Leon's Charizard being one of the most memorable ones, but we don't chat about that though. However, let's not forget when Ash had his first major mirror match, and this was against his friend Ritchie. I think this is one of the biggest missed opportunities ever. It would have been great to see Ash and Ritchie battle each other, especially in the Masters 8. Ritchie is a very knowledgeable trainer, sharing similar Pokemon to Ash. Can you imagine if we saw a Greninja mirror match between these two Pokemon? Or even a clash between their own Charizards? What hurts the most is that we even saw Ritchie return make a brief cameo in this arc. I definitely think he could have replaced a character in the Masters 8 roster, not only to bring back nostalgia to this tournament, but to also clash one more time with our hero finally getting revenge after the shocking way he lost in the Indigo Plateau Conference. Both trainers shared a good amount of time with one another during their adventure, helping and motivating each other as well. It would have been so nice to see both of these two come together to clash one more time in battle. Plus, I want to see Charizard actually win a battle this time.
Another time that Charizard wasn't able to secure a victory came against Brandon. Brandon was the head Frontier Brain of the Kanto region. Ash had to battle this guy 3 times before finally securing his victory and cementing himself all of the Frontier symbols. Brandon was really cool because not only was he an extremely strong trainer, literally on par with Elite 4, and also low-key some champions, but he was also a really good mentor for Ash. He was someone that Ash could look up to and aim to be like. There is no better trainer than Brandon to guide young trainers looking to be stronger. His return in Diamond and Pearl showed us how much respect he has for our boy Ash, and even did Ash a favor humbling Paul 6-0 before Ash could ever even defeat him. Because Ash took so long to defeat him, and when he did he was offered the role of Frontier Brain, it would have been a really good way to show how much progress he has made if he was able to have a battle with Brandon and be even closer in strength, not struggling as hard as he did in the past. Brandon would have been a great showcase of the Battle Frontier in Pokemon Journeys since we never got that referenced.
Right. Let's get one thing straight here. I can't be the only one who thinks Ash not battling Virgil in the Black and White series is a crime, right? Instead, we saw him lose to Cameron, who only had 5 Pokemon on his team. Bro, I can't lie, this was the battle that we needed instead of that. Virgil was a trainer that could have given Ash a big run for his money, specializing in the Evolution family of Pokemon. Ash could have definitely been in for a thrilling and unique battle if he took on Virgil in Pokemon Journeys. It could have been that Virgil returned in Journeys not only to show how his Eevee evolved into Sylveon, or heck, imagine if he was the trainer to promote a brand new evolution that is yet to be revealed. That would have been another insane moment for the internet, that's for sure. This is probably one of the most highly anticipated battles that the Pokemon anime fanbase wanted to see, and it's crushing to know that Ash lost to Cameron that prevented this from coming to life.
Somehow we made all this list without any female trainers, so let's change that. Sabrina would have made for an excellent choice for Ash to battle in Pokemon Journeys. We got to see Surge, Erica, and technically Brock and Misty, but the other ones didn't even appear in Pokemon Journeys. Oh, I just realized that the first 4 made it in. Anyway, Sabrina was one of the trainers that gave Ash the most trouble in the original series, with him getting a badge for making her laugh. Yeah, no joke. Well, technically yes joke, but I'm not joking about how he got the badge. Sabrina returning in Pokemon Journeys would do justice to both their characters. Let's see Sabrina going all the way with her new Alakazam and her Gengar, who decided to stay by Sabrina's side all these years, making her happy. And then we get an epic match of Sabrina and Ash's Gengar going at it with all their goofy battle styles and whatnot. I remember when we first got the leaked image of the Ultra Class trainers that Ash would be battling against, everyone believed Sabrina to be among them, and I can't blame them. We would also finally get closure on whether Ash truly deserved the Marsh badge or not.
Ash has encountered almost every villainous team in the anime, and I think it's fair to say that some of the boss battles have been very impactful. However, there's one boss that finally needs to be taught a lesson. And what more of Ash taking on Giovanni to culminate not only this battle, but also Ash's journey. Ash has encountered Giovanni on multiple occasions, and he's also lost him in battle. Ash has grown a lot since that last encounter. With a selection of new Pokemon now in his possession, there's no excuse for this battle to not happen. I'm so surprised that Ash never battled Giovanni before he concluded his journey. It could have been the perfect way for us viewers to see this finally get ticked off our bucket lists, giving him the best possible send-off. After all of the nuisance and pain Team Rocket has caused Ash over the course of his journey, surely him taking down the final boss would have been the ideal outcome, right?
And there you have our top 10 list of trainers that should have made it into Pokemon Journeys and battled against Ash. Are there any trainers we missed that you want to see battle against Ash that we didn't say? Let me know in the comments below and I can make a part 2. Big shout out to the boy Raph for joining me on this video. Make sure to check out his channel for even more Pokemon content. But for now, I've got some training to do if I want to make it into the Masters 8, so I'm out. Peace.